Hey guys, and welcome back. So I want to kind of speed through this because there's not much to say about it, but as you can tell from the title of this video, this is about my HSG test. So I'm going to dive right into it, and then if you have any questions, you can leave a comment below and I will answer them for you, or message me privately on Instagram, which I always put somewhere here, and I will answer your questions. I just want to put it out there because I'm the most honest person possible when it comes to certain things, and I will tell you how everything is. So I went in super nervous. I was going to vlog, but I didn't because I needed to focus on me, and by vlogging I felt like you guys were gonna see a very raw side of me. I was like really quiet. I didn't really want to speak. I didn't want to talk or anything like that. Like, I was just super quiet. So the procedure was at 9:30, which is what I was scheduled for, and I had to take an antibiotic, doxycycline, the night before, and then I had to take pain medication an hour before the procedure. So I did take the pain medication. It made me like just sleepy. It didn't make me like, whoa, like I couldn't function. I was just feeling like I was sleepy, like if you take like a Z-Quil or something like that. When I got to the place, they took my blood pressure, they took urine to make sure that you're not pregnant before they do the test. They gave me a piece of paper which pretty much explains everything that was gonna happen. Excuse me. So we ended up waiting there, I think I want to say like almost an hour, because the doctor was doing a lot of surgeries. So it was a different facility than the first one that I went to. And at that facility, I went to go see Dr. McCormick, which is a female. She was really nice, very straightforward. So basically what happens is that they take you into the small room where they have an x-ray machine. There's two nurses which are bundled up in the x-ray gear to protect themselves. And they have a table, like a high table, that there's a stoop for. They have you know, remove your clothes waist down. I was able to keep my sweater on and my shirt on, and I had a gown on, and then I laid down, and it was like you're laying more flat than what you would at your gynecologist when you put your feet up on those things. And the things that they had, it wasn't like that. It was like cushioned, and it was more so for you to put your calf on. So your calf went here and you were like spread open. So sorry, Juno, just shaking. So basically the way that it works is they have you cough. So they had me cough, and by coughing, at the moment that I'm coughing, she's clamping, kind of clamping steady the cervix, which it sounds really painful, but I'll be 100% honest with you guys, that part was not painful. You feel it, and it's just like discomfort, but it's not pain. It's like, okay, something's there. It's the same way as when they put the I think it's the thing that goes in the vagina to open, like when they're gonna do a pap smear, or when they're gonna look at you. You guys know what I'm talking about. So it's that type of discomfort is the same discomfort you feel when they clamp your cervix. So I'm not sure if clamp is the right word, medical term. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nurse. I'm gonna put that disclaimer out there. I'm not, this is based off of my own experience and what I learned through the whole process. So with that being said, you know, that was done. I was like, okay, I was really scared about that. I thought that was going to be the painful part, but it wasn't. So she explained to me that she will try to tell me the most important things through the process, and she would explain everything that's happening through the process. And then everything else my doctor would discuss with me in my follow-up appointment, which is next week. So the whole time she's like, okay, I need you to cough for me. So I coughed. She clamped, or held my cervix with something, with a tool or whatever. And then she said, okay, I'm gonna start putting in the liquid. So it's iodine that they put, that's considered to be like the dye with whatever else. So you feel, I want to say kind of like pressure, and you feel like there's liquid going inside your pelvic area. And then one of the nurses, because there were two, there was one on each side, one of them said, okay honey, you're gonna start feeling cramping because that's what you're supposed to feel. So I said, okay. So she said, breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. It's like, you know, just relaxing exercises. So I was breathing in through my nose, out through my mouth. Doctor was asking me if I was okay. I saw the screen to my left, which was kind of blocked by the x-ray machine, but you can see like a cloud. You can see like the thing, like your tubes or whatnot. But I wasn't really paying attention because I was more so paying attention to what was going on and what I was feeling, because like I said, it's uncomfortable. So I started doing that, and then I did start feel some, like, you know, cramping. And then the nurse to the left of me said, oh, this one's being stubborn, which was my left tube. So what she did is on my pelvis, she pressed down and she started doing this. So she's like, that one's just being stubborn. So I was like, okay. She was like, okay, the liquid's not like going through. It's kind of like being stubborn. I could tell the doctor was more so working for my left side because she's down here. And so then, you know, aside from the cramping and all the talking that's going on, she said to cough for her. So I coughed, and then afterwards I felt like a sharp pain, and I was like, ooh, and I was like scared because I was like, holy cow. And then she was like, oh, you felt that? She was like, I'm so sorry. So at that point they said, good, now it's going through. So I feel like it like unblocked it in a way. This is just the way that I feel happened, because I don't have the actual results. I don't know exactly. All I know is that the left side was giving her a hard time for the dye to go through, and then it ended up going through, and that's the part where I felt pain. So after that, the pain kind of increased from the cramping to a little bit more of a cramping because of what happened. And then she continued to ask me to cough several times, and then that's it. The test was over. So she removes everything. They have you scoot back and sit up, and liquid does come out. And then they, you know, have you wrap the sheet around your waist, and then you go into the bathroom. I went into the bathroom next door to change, and I put on a pad, and they told me no intercourse for the next 24 hours. But before that, the doctor said to me, okay, so what I found is that your one of your tubes is dilated. So I was like, okay. And she's like, and Dr. Yeko will go over everything else with you. So I was like, okay. I was like, well, what do you mean by dilated? You know, I'm like, what does that mean? Like, you know, in my terms as a regular non-medical person, I'm like, okay, is my tubes blocked? Did you find something that can be the reason why even on Clomid I'm not conceiving, or like, what is it? So she said, instead of narrow, it's dilated. It's open. It's like wide. So then the nurse said, yeah, it's like wide as opposed to regular or really narrow. So I was like, okay. So I turned to Google, of course. So like I said, I'm gonna explain what Google says in a second, but I got dressed, I put on the pad, I had fluid coming out. So I had fluid, you know, some fluid would come out. It just felt like discharge. I had a pad on all day, and when I bent over, oh, and she told me, quick thing, she did tell me, she said, so because of that, I'm gonna send additional antibiotics. So I had read on the piece of paper that they gave me, I'm sorry, I completely forgot about this part, but I had read on the piece of paper that they gave me that they said that if they did see anything, like if my tubes were blocked or anything along those lines, that additional antibiotics would be sent to you. The first antibiotics that they send is to prevent some type of infection because they're going in and they're putting stuff in there, and obviously they don't want you to get an infection. And now with me continuing with a longer time of the same, so it's the same antibiotic, but I have to take it for a longer period of time than what I would have had they not found anything. Okay, so I'm gonna continue this in a bit. I have to run out. I was trying to finish, but I'm not gonna be able to. So as soon as I come back, I will continue this video. Hey guys. Okay, so look at this cute little boy. If he can be on top of my head, he totally would be. I have 5 minutes on my memory and 5% camera, so I'm gonna try to finish where I left off. So it's the middle of the day, probably later. I went out with my friend to go to like a community yard sale. It was so much fun. I can probably bring you guys next time, but I just want to finish this video for you guys and put it up. So like I was telling you guys, I'm on a longer length of time dose for doxycycline. And that's based off of what she found. So I can tell you that yesterday I was crampy, more to the left side than the right side, and it's been like that. And then today I've been really sore, more painful than yesterday, and I think that has to do with what they found during the HSG test. So all in all, the test was super quick. It was actually faster than what I thought. It's uncomfortable, and I'm guessing that if you have a problem with your tube and they're trying to get the dye to go through, that's when you're gonna feel pain. Other than that, it's cramping that's definitely bearable. Like period cramps, it's just more discomfort than anything else. So that was the test today. Like I said, I've been taking my antibiotics, taking it easy, no intercourse for 24 hours after the test. And today, you know, obviously I'm not up to it because I'm in more pain today. It feels just a lot sore, like it feels like sore type of bruising type of pain, and I think that has a lot to do with what they found. So when I looked up on Google, it said that a dilated fallopian tube means that it's still some form of blockage, which means that there's like some sticky liquid that gets in the way, and that's what makes the fallopian tube dilated from what I read. I don't know how true that is. I guess I have to wait until my doctor's appointment, which is going to be this coming Thursday. Today is October 5th, so whenever that is. So I'm assuming that there was some type of blockage in my left fallopian tube, and I guess I'll find out more details when I go to the specialist and I talk to him about the results. Which kind of makes sense because when I ovulate, I've told you guys how much it hurts, and it's usually always on the left side. So that's probably something that's occurring, and maybe that's why I'm not getting pregnant on my own, and definitely not getting pregnant on Clomid. All I do know is that when I test for ovulation without Clomid, I don't get a positive ever. So I don't know if you guys have any thoughts. Make sure to comment below. That's basically what happened. That's basically where we're at right now. So I hope you guys got a lot of information from this video. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, make sure to comment below. Make sure to message me privately if you don't want to make it a public comment. Message me on Instagram. I answer pretty quickly. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video and all the information that was provided in it, please give the video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified whenever I do upload videos. I'm hoping that we get more news